Hi guys, Lewted host here with another dank stream. This is just going to be part of my Iron Man log, I guess you can call it. As I said in the past two streams, I'm going to be doing this for a while. I might actually end up saying it until I finish. But yeah, I'm going to be doing this right up until I get as much ores as I need. Then I'm going to be smithing that. Then after I'm going to come back to Rome 2 streams and whatnot. Mind you, I'm not going to stream every time I'm playing Runescape. I decided to stream today because I know people love to hear me talk about Rome 2 and what I think about Total War and what I think about probably other things. But like I said, I'm just going to be doing this for the next few days. There's going to be people that want to take your ores from you, which is fine. I'm fine with that. I don't really mind it as much as other people do. The only reason is because I'm going to be doing this for a while anyway. Sure, it would speed up the process if they didn't, but it is what it is. So I don't think I actually mentioned this. No, I did mention it. I have the database info. And I'm going to the next time I stream Rome 2, which might be around Christmas time. Actually, no, not even Christmas time. Probably in February, early February, maybe. Who knows? I might do one on Christmas Day. Around that time, I'm going to talk about the database stuff. I'm going to talk about database, play some Rome 2, maybe play some Napoleon. Haven't done that in a while. And I haven't streamed Empire since like 120 streams ago. Because I remember the third thing I streamed was Empire. And how I liked the British Empire and Empire. What else was I going to talk about? Actually, you don't have anything else to talk about. But I'm sure I'll think of things. For example, I'm actually this close to figuring out why hoplites have a different mass than, or a different entity than very heavy units. For some reason, I've been lagging whenever I stream like this. See what this person underneath me has been doing. He clicks it like this and gets the ores before I do. Because for some reason I lag, I guess. See, like, the delay right there? That shouldn't have taken so long. But it's okay. It is what it is. See, if I were to click like this and just wait until the ore came, chances are I'd get it before he does because I have a higher mining level. If I were to keep on doing that, who knows? Or maybe he knows something that I don't. But I blame the lag in between, because he's clicking it before I actually have a chance to mine it. Like, he does this, and that's all he does. Which is fine. I have about 20k, or almost 20k, almost. Almost 20k iron ores. So I still need about 91k. So I'm still trying to get 91. See, I still don't understand why there's a delay, and that's what's making this guy able to... Like, there's ticks in Runescape, obviously. But if I were to keep on doing that, I'd probably get more ores than he would. From what I've been gathering, he's just there to collect different types of ores. I wonder why he stopped. See, I want people to compete with me, because what will end up happening is, if nobody competes, then you have a problem. I tend to slow down whenever nobody's competing. As long as he's here, he could just take in as many ores as he wants. Boy. It's been a long time since I've mined adamantite. I don't really need adamant armor right now, but I will eventually. Because before you get rune, you get adamantite, obviously. One of my other accounts doesn't have 50 defense, but I've been trying to get it to 50 defense. And it's funny because you can craft green d'hide, but you can't craft blue d'hide, if I'm correct. Whoops, I didn't mean to click that. It's gonna pop up in a few minutes anyway, but you can craft green d'hide if I'm correct, but you can't craft blue d'hide. Well, no, that wouldn't make sense because you can't even. See, blue dragon leather for sure is members. I know that much. So you can't craft. Is green dragon leather as well? I don't know. Yeah, it's members as well. So you can't craft either. Unless you're a member. And of course you'd have to kill your own dragons to get your dragon leather. So I'm in a bit of a pickle when it comes to magic-based opponents. Because I can't craft either. Even if I had the crafting experience. That's okay. Rune is good enough. At the end of this, I'm going to be able to smith rune, so that's good. Anyway, the guy logged apparently, so that's fine. This morning I was going up against a bot that was in this area. Eventually I realized that he was a bot because of the pattern he was doing. But yeah, I beat him with these, so that was fun. I'm not going to stream Total War Arena because it's just too laggy. The CPU lag's still horrendous for me. So until they fix that, I can't stream it. In fact, I can't even really play it on big maps. Because everybody has, like, you're playing with like 20 people and my internet can't handle that. Now, the next time I'll be streaming, I don't know, because next week I'm going to be working, so that's good. So yeah, anyway, for Total War Arena, there's going to be an update, probably today, that will give the barbarians new units that, you know, I've been waiting for. And yeah, so that sounds interesting. However, I'm still wondering when they're going to put in berserkers, because you can't have a barbarian army and not put in berserkers, because of course Arminius is German and Vercingetorix is Gallic. And I mean, the entire barbarian build relies on your stereotypical Celtic barbarian faction. And yeah, so with Arminius, all he's using is a bunch of Celtic guys, and none of them are German. Unless you consider raiders German, even though there's raiding horsemen for the Tylus, which is Celtic. But anyway, that's besides the point. I should be able to get 79 mining before, should be able to get 79 mining before 7 o'clock today. So that might be at 12 o'clock in game. So clink intensive. That's why people don't like mining. Mining's pretty tedious, but at the higher levels, just like Hunter, it's just like Hunter. Pretty tedious, but click intensive. Seems like we have a new opponent. So by Sunday, around Sunday, I'll have 80 mining. If I'm fortunate, I might actually have 81. But from Monday to Wednesday, won't be getting that much experience. In fact, it might even take until Thursday to get 82, 81 or 82 mining. But I think I've done enough progress right now, because I still can't mine runes. So if I decided to stop now and I got like over 85 smithing, which I should be able to with the amount of ores I've got, I've been a really big pickle because I can't mine rune and I can't buy rune because I'm an Iron Man. Plus I would have lost a lot of money doing mining iron and just using it into artisans anyway. Would have made more money from making these iron ores into iron bars, because you can elch them, but it's not worth it. I'd be better off elching things like rune, because I don't have too many elches. So if I were to become a member on this account, before I do that, I'd get my crafting up. Then I'd get my slayer up. Then I'd get a leaf-bladed sword or something like that. Wouldn't bother dungeoneering. And then when I have a leaf-bladed sword, I just kill green dragons. Probably blue ones too, to make my own armor. I'd only need one bond, which I could buy from... Well, I don't really have to buy it because in old school Runescape I'm not an Iron Man. I'm gonna be AFK for like a minute because I'm just gonna get something to drink. That should do. Leave you here. And let's continue. There's gonna be a day where I'm gonna mine so much clay that I can just go straight to 70 crafting. I want to see where the fastest place to mine clay is. Whoops. I guess that's members. Yeah, probably the best place to mine clay is at the crafting guild. I'd assume so. All you really need is two of them. I'm just curious if the people who actually mine these stuff over here are actually going to use it to smith. And he says, yep. Fair enough. You never know. Because adamantite, for its price, isn't worth selling it by itself. That had to be a pulse core because I know what the it takes to like what it does to you. I know what a pulse core does. In fact, I got 4 on my other account. Unfortunately, Iron Men don't get the boost. That's probably what the other guy had, which is why he was getting so much experience. Oh, sorry, guys. Do you know what one of the hardest questions you can never ask somebody is? What to eat for dinner? You never know. Like, you don't, when you eat everything, you don't know what to have anymore. Should I have this? Should I have that? Somebody mentioned it to me once that that's one of the hardest questions ever. And I agree. But I'm sure if you have a schedule, you'll know what to eat. So anyway, Total War streamed, I think it was yesterday, talking about the Age of Charlemagne factions, because I think there's 5. And they streamed the last one, or they're going to stream another one today, I'm not sure. I'll have to check my Gmail after this inventory. Now, if you guys don't know who Charlemagne is, Charlemagne was the guy that united what is today France and Germany. Charlemagne is two named, or a name and a title in one. Charles and Magnus, which means the Great. Yeah, I kept on getting, like I said last stream, I kept on getting him messed up with Charlemagne the rapper. But I knew who Charlemagne was and what he did. He was the first Holy Roman Empire ever since the fall of the Western Roman Empire, which I think capitulated under the the barbarians. Because it seems to me that in both Rome 2 and Attila, and I've said this, but it seems to me that it's the Romans fighting against the barbarians that is the strong point of both games. It's what the games really focus around. Because yeah, Rome 2 is about the rise of Rome and how strong Rome became. Attila is about the fall of Rome and how weak Rome became. Rome had to fight Carthage. Rome had to fight the Huns. Rome had to fight the barbarians for centuries. But yeah, it's what it is. And then Charlemagne comes in, restores the Holy Roman Empire, which actually lasted up until the early 19th century when I think Napoleon completely eradicated it. However, we still have the Pope, so that's good, I guess. Or is it? Anyway, so Charlemagne did that. He made what is today France and Germany through his conquests of fighting other Germanic tribes. Because he was Frankish, if I remember. And the Franks were German. However, they lived somewhere in France. Probably, of course, past the Rhine, but I'm pretty sure they lived in France. I'll have to look them up. Charlemagne, I mean, the Total War trailer for Age of Charlemagne was really well done. I said that. But I really did like it. I did. I liked it because it was so simple and yet so powerful. And it had that Attila feel to it. Actually, no, it had that early medieval feel to it. In fact, people were saying that they should have put this in Medieval 3. However, I disagree because these are the Middle Ages. The time that Charlemagne was alive was the Middle Ages, not the Medieval Ages. Middle Ages was after the Dark Ages, but before the Medieval Ages. Like before the time that England got conquered by the Normans. And it was about the time that I don't know when the Angli and the Saxons went to England. But yeah, the Medieval Ages would center around that. The Norman conquest of England, or England fighting off the Vikings, or stuff like that. It wasn't the Battle of Hastings, it was before that. The Battle of Milburn Bridge, I think it was called. or Milvian. No, not Milvian Bridge. That was the Roman battle. Because the Vikings did invade, or tried to invade, the England. Well, then they won one battle and then lost the second one and then got defeated. And I remember all of this because of an online game that I liked because it was pretty nice. It's called 1066. That was a year that these three battles happened. But anyway, it's not important. I like to play like the nomads, not the nomads, the Normans, because they would have cavalry, and cavalry are good for charging, rear charging, whatever. And so they were really good offensively, and they were balanced in other places. In fact, I can probably find it now. Yeah, Battle of Stamford Bridge, that's what it was called. That's the one that the Vikings lost to the English king. I think his name was Harold. Harold Godswinson, that's what his name was. So I'm not going to talk about that, but yeah. I mean, I think the king's brother turned against him and actually fought with the Vikings, but died anyway. If you didn't know, the Normans came from Normandy, France. No, they didn't. No, not when they went to the England. They spoke French. They did speak French actually, but over time they didn't. And I mean, it's kind of embarrassing to have a Frenchman on your throne, because England and France ended up fighting for 800 years, almost a millennium. It is what it is. But anyway, like I was saying before that's not the time of age when Charlemagne was alive. He was alive 200 years before that, and he united what is France and Germany to not together, but he made what is today France and Germany. Probably made the German states, for sure. And then united Gaul, but broke off from the lower part, which became Switzerland. Yeah, but I'm really interested in this campaign even though I don't have Attila. And I probably will never get Attila, because I did say that Rome 2 will probably be my last Total War game because of the disaster of the pre-ordering. And I don't know if I can ever pre-order a game again. I mean, I was going to pre-order Battlefront, but then look at what happened. Like EA, as always, messed up some of the orders. And then The Force Awakens comes out on December 18th. And that's a Friday. Yeah, today's the 4th. No, that's not a Friday. Yes, it is. It is a Friday. 14 days. 2 weeks from now, it will come out. And I will hopefully try to watch it. It's gonna be big. Force Awakens is gonna be big for sure. Oh gosh. I think I'm gonna need some more juice. One thing that inspires me to constantly play RuneScape and pretty much any game is the fact that you can always grow in it. You can always learn something from it. I think every Total War game has some sort of replay value. Like, pretty much the campaigns you can definitely replay. Company of Heroes 2 you can, but it's not that, especially Ardene's Assault, or Ardennes, however you want to pronounce it. One of the reviews said that it has a ton of replay value. I guess if you use different companies for different areas, you could get away with that. But I don't think there's a whole lot of replay value. I think they were over-exaggerating it. Like Empire, for example, has so many factions that you can play as, and if you have a mod for it, which is called Empire Total Factions, the game has unlimited replay value. You can play as different factions, with especially factions that you can't play as, that will have like a huge disadvantage to the major playable factions. That goes for every other Total War game. I don't know if there's a Medieval 2 Total Factions or whatever, but there is one for Napoleon and there is one for Shogun 2, and there are ones for Rome 2, and there probably are for Attila as well. There probably will be those for Warhammer, but I don't know yet. I remember when Shogun 2 was going to come out, how it looked, how the icons looked like Napoleon, the gameplay looked like Napoleon. In fact, I think they didn't slow the game speed down in Shogun 2. They only did it in Rome 2. They changed up a bunch of stuff in Shogun 2 after it came out because there were problems with it. It didn't have the same problems that Rome 2 had, but you were able to do what you could do in Napoleon and Shogun 2. And that caused a lot of problems because, of course, for example, with cavalry, you had cavalry that could just pull through units and not lose any, especially spear units, which they were supposed to. Then you had units that could fire at their own units, and their units wouldn't take a huge morale hit. They just take the same morale hit that enemy units would do. Now they take -6. I find it all really extraordinary. Then Rome 2 came out, and oh man, there are so many things wrong with it. I thought it was me, until I realized that it was the optimization of the game that was messed up. I actually thought it was my computer that was lagging, because my computer crashed twice, and then people were complaining about it, and that's when I figured out that it wasn't me, but it was the game itself. They actually didn't even finish the game when it was released, so they had to patch it 18 times, not 17. Now they want us to pre-order Warhammer. I mean, Attila wasn't that bad when it came out. It was actually a finished game. Somebody said that it was so like what Rome 2 was supposed to look like when it just got released. So I think that Attila probably is a good game. The only reason I wouldn't buy it is because it's so focused on cavalry, which I said before, and I don't like that. Mind you, I've played as the Nomads, and I've done it in the campaign as well, where I actually don't have any infantry. So I always have to be moving around with my units, or else if they get caught, they're done for. However, in the Nomad campaigns, you suffer so much against other Eastern factions because of the fact that they'll just spam horse archers. And you're literally, well, like, I mean, that's the beauty of Rome too. I mean, on one side of the world, you'll be fighting with infantry and other infantry, and with no cavalry. And on the other side of the world, it's the opposite. You'll be using horse archers, and you'll be fighting horse archers, and there will be not enough infantry to turn the tide of battle. It's what makes Rome 2 so much better than Shogun 2, because in Shogun 2 it was just the same units and the same tactics that the AI would use, and you'd have to wait until later in the game, which, you know, happens with every other Total War game. You know, that's when the battles become harder, and that's when you have to know how to beat superior units if you have inferior units, and so on. In Rome 2, that's not the case always. Of course, they're going to have higher units as the game progresses. Like, for example, I had to fight 6 Oathsworn once in a campaign, and in another campaign I had to fight 6 Noble Horse, and I did it, and I won. So, yeah. I'm looking forward toward Warhammer though. I still want to get Star Wars Battlefront. I mean, just to complete the collection of Battlefronts that I have. I have the first one, I have the second one, I have the one for DS, but I don't have Rogue Squadron. I don't have the one for PSP either. Yeah. But I do have the one for DS, so that's fine. I didn't know what to expect. The one for DS isn't that great. It's a solid 4, probably. Like, it was underperforming, the plot was a little too blunt. It wasn't that interesting. But the story from the DS one isn't canon, whereas the ones from the PS2 are canon. In fact, you can't even play PS2 games on a PS3 or PS4. And then there were rumors that the PS4 was supposed to be backward compatible. However, they said that, I think they said that about the PS3, and that didn't happen. So it's unlikely that's going to happen for the PS4. If it does, then I'm definitely getting a PS4 because I want to play all the classics. I want to play all of my PS2 games on a high definition PlayStation, because I've never played on 60 FPS on Battlefront. Never. I've had probably 50. 50's close, but it's not 60. You can tell the difference. Sometimes for Revenge of the Sith, I'd have 60 FPS, but that was because the CD would probably skip and the game would go a bit faster than usual. But now that I look back on my PS2 games, I wonder why I didn't get some of the combos and some of the things before that I get now. It's probably because of who I was. Anyway, this mining nonsense is gonna last for a long time, but I will get through it. I can assure you that. It's not gonna be like me woodcutting where I'm telling myself, oh yes, I'm gonna get 99, and I end up not getting 99 because I don't want to get 99 before 99 strength. No, this time it's gonna be different because I actually need to get 86 mining and get over that to actually get 99 smithing. So I have no choice but to stay down here until I get enough ores to get there. Now, I actually don't know how much levels I get However, I know based on how many ores I have right now, I get about 85. About 85. Maybe 80, excuse me, about 86 because I'm about 23k away from leveling anyway. And you have to also remember that there are distractions and diversions at Artisan's Workshop. There's the pipe, which you can, like the pipe bursts, there's about 6 and there's a maximum of 6. They spawn randomly. I don't think there's a set time as to when they present themselves, but it's random. Right now, I think they give about 261 XP, so I'd end up saving on actually two ores every time I fix one of them, which is why I'm not actually going past 96k ores, even though I need 96,070 ores, because I'm going to end up over the time not needing to do that, not needing the extra ores. I could stop at 91k, but I'm not going to take the risk because if I stop at 98, I'd have to come back down here. And of course that would mean that the scorpions will become aggressive again. I miss the old days of RuneScape though. I like how it's moving forward, and you know, you have to adapt to PKing, and I have with EOC. I did with when they made HP 10 times higher than what it was before, and I adapted to that. I adapted to EOC, I adapted to momentum and all these things. But I miss the old days. I do, because I liked those. Where the game was more simple, now it's more complex. Like, you still have legacy mode, but legacy mode's retarded or stupid because of, not retarded because you can't say that, but it's more stupid because of the fact that it's the fact that the hits are higher than they should be to match evolution of combat. If there was no EOC, then legacy hits would be as, you know, regular hits. I have the EOC screen because I have the legacy screen, sorry, because the EOC screen's too complex and it's not too beneficial for me. The only times I need to use EOC combat is when I'm using magic or when I'm ranging. With melee, I'm fine with what I have right now. When I'm dungeoneering, I don't either because I have enough runes to survive whatever I encounter. The best part about smithing, if I go past 90 and I become a member and I get 90 strength, what will end up happening is when I'm dungeoneering, I'm gonna get promethium ores and just smith them. That's it. It's gonna be hard, of course, but I'll manage. I always do. I still don't have a primal maul though. You know, I was thinking about fighting revenants after I get 99 smithing and 50 melee defense, or yeah, because why not? But it's pointless because the corrupt equipment I get from revenants, if I get any, I can't sell. Furthermore, I can't even wield them, so yeah, but mainly I can't really sell them. So they'd be in my bank and it would just be clutter. I'd be better off sticking with cockroaches, looting them, um, ouching whatever they drop, except the ores, of course. And then I can always get my prayer up. I don't know what purpose that would serve me, though. Who knows? There might be an event in the future that I can benefit from. There might be an event in the future just for Iron Man. The only reason I wanted to fight Revenants is because of my Ghost Hunter armor. I wonder what I'd do if I became a member on this account. Because I have done it, but in RuneScape 3 there's nothing much to do. In old school, however, I was trying to get 99 strength. I ended up falling short because, once again, I lost motivation. I don't even know how it happened. Just decided not to do it anymore. However, the next membership I get on this account, I'm 100% committing to getting 99 strength. However, I'd have to do it in the summertime. And by the summertime, hopefully I'd have a year membership on my other account. Probably get him to 99 strength as well, who knows. But first I'd have to stockpile on the amount of bonds I'd get, because 24 bonds is a lot of money. I can make it in 2 weeks, but it's a lot of money. And I just have to keep on investing and watching supply and demand and getting skill champas. Because that's what Grand Exchange really is. It's just investing your money into this huge exchange place where you buy and sell goods, but you do it based on your knowledge of what will make you money. Like if you lose money at Grand Exchange, then you're not probably good at trading. But if you gain a lot of money, then you're probably good at it. I gotta get that. Sorry guys. Alright, sorry guys, I gotta go AFK for probably a few minutes. Change something in my calendar. Apparently something came up, so I can't stream on Saturday anymore. I have to move an event. Okay. Yeah, I just got a call from my workplace saying that they wanted me to come in earlier, which I'm willing to do. It's going to take 4 hours. However, I'm still probably going to not be able to stream on Monday to Wednesday. And I mean, nobody really misses my streams, right? So it's not a big deal. And I mean, hey, who knows? When I reach the 165 streams, I might not be streaming anymore. So there's that. Anyway, somehow I'm gonna have to make those bonds. I have to get a bond on this account as well. I have to do all these things, and I hope that I can. I mean, when you're working, you don't have enough time to do stuff that you usually do when you're free. And pretty much all of my money is gonna go to support my family anyway. I don't plan on keeping any money. I don't really have anything that I want besides Battlefront. And I don't want Attila or Warhammer. And yeah, so I'm not really going to be keeping any money. And I won't be looking for pre-ordering anything. If there was any game that I wanted right now, it would be the Phantom Pain. I mean, Ground Zeroes was kind of disappointing, but... Well, not disappointing, it was short. But the Phantom Pain is really nice. However, the problem with it is that it's pretty much just filler. Just filler. That's what it is. According to somebody, 95% of Metal Gear Solid 5 is just filler. The entire Phantom Pain, Ground Zeroes. And it is, because it just fills in what happens between Peace Walker and the Metal Gear Solid 4. That's all it is. See, it's not like how there's Metal Gear Solid 2 and then there's Metal Gear Revengeance, where you learn about Raiden and then it continues about Raiden, and then Metal Gear Solid 4 it shows Raiden. I remember when Metal Gear Revengeance came out, because I didn't know anything about Raiden. I didn't know about Metal Gear Solid 2, what happens during it. I didn't know about the tanker incident. I didn't even know about, yeah, that is the tanker incident. I didn't know anything about Metal Gear Solid 2. I knew some bits of Metal Gear Solid 3. And I think after Metal Gear Revengeance came out, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker came out on PSP. I can't remember if it was Revengeance, because Revengeance was in a YouTube poop that I watched. No, it was Revengeance and then it was Metal Gear Solid 4, because Metal Gear Solid 4 came out on the PS3. Yeah. The Phantom Pain and Ground Zeroes came out on the PS4? No. I don't remember if Ground Zeroes came out on the PS4. Probably would have. I mean, Call of Duty Ghosts did, so I wouldn't see why it wouldn't. But Call of Duty Ghosts came out before the PS4. I don't even know how to update my games to make it work on a PS4. So I've been pretty reluctant. To get a PS4. I'm not going to save my money to get a PS4 anyway. I'm just going to save my money to pay my tuition. Speaking of tuition, I'm doing good in school anyway. Going to get honors in all of my classes, which is nice. High honors in 2 and then honors in the other 3. Apparently by Monday I have to pick a gen ed, which I didn't even put on my calendar. I probably should do that. I hate the fact that college just works just like high school in a way, where you have mandatory courses. Because I don't want mandatory courses. I just want to pick something that I can work good at, and then have a major, which would be computer engineering, and then just do that. Instead of this nonsense where you have to pick a gen ed and whatnot. Whoops. How did I misspell literature? And also, gen ed is short for general education. Gen ed, general education. Yeah, so you have to pick a mandatory gen ed. No, gen eds are mandatory. You before 2016, you would have had to have picked a literature one, but apparently you don't have to anymore. So that's nice. However, this college nonsense has just been a money grab, and I am fortunate enough to actually do good in my classes. There are most people in my classes seem to just not be there anymore. I don't know. This always happens. Happened in high school, where the first year, grade 9, I was doing A-okay because I had so much confidence in myself. However, this time, because I have to actually pay to be in college, which is ridiculous, I'm doing well because it's money. You have to either spend it or waste it. There is no real in between for me, and that's just what has to happen. And of course, I'm not wasting any money. Forget that. I'm not rich. Not yet, anyway. I like in room 2. I like the skin of the veteran shield warriors of the Lusitani. They have the chest plate, which actually really isn't even a chest plate. They have the round K-Tress shield. They have the decorated helmet, which you can actually get in Total War Arena. They have the Kopis sword. Kopis is Greek for a cutting blade. Usually it's, I think, for cooking, actually. I mean, the Royal Peltas also have the Kopis. Does 30 base damage and 6 armor piercing. Beats pretty much the Roman gladiators. Which is good. I'm also going to be doing, like I said, I was going to make a table of masses. But I'm also going to see which faction beats which, and I already came up with some ideas, and I had it on paper, but my mom threw it out, so I'll have to start from scratch. REA Pontus. There's a Hellenic faction that it beats. Parthian nomads, and there is a Hellenic faction. Anyway, back to mining, because I'll have to do that later. Save it there. I'll get back to that after. We don't have much time to waste, so I'll continue doing this and hope for the best. I have less than 90k experience left to burn, so that's a little bit over 2 hours, maybe 2 hours 30 minutes if I'm consistent. So yeah, like I said, I'll be hopefully done this, hopefully getting 79 mining before 6 o'clock, maybe even 7, before 7 for sure, but maybe even 6. I wonder if my calendar can do something. Sorry guys, just bear with me. There, that's better. Wrong day. Gosh. Yes, monthly on the first Friday. That's what I've been trying to get. Yes. Alright, there. That should do it. Took me more than 6 minutes, but that's okay. Back to mining. We should be fine now. Now I'm gonna give myself until 6 o'clock. I'll probably stop streaming by about 6 o'clock unless somebody comes in the stream and starts asking questions. In which case I might stay longer. But like I said in the previous streams, I'm going to be doing this for a very long time. It could be as short as a month. Well, no, because it takes... Who knows? It could be well, it might be longer than December. It might go into January. Because I'm going to be working, but yeah. Who knows? Might be early January, might be mid-January, might be late January. I'm giving myself until the end of February to actually get the smithing nonsense done. Because if I end up losing my momentum, I'm never going to get that smithing done. Because Artisan's Workshop, you have to, if you want to use as least ores as you want, or as you can have, you have to pay very close attention. Because it takes about 7, it could be 6 to 8. The highest I've seen is 9. Before 9 pieces of armor until he switches over. So if you're in the middle of making an armor, and I mean like, because there's about 3 stages to making an armor. If you're about 3 stages, if you're like in the second stage of making the armor, don't try to switch over to the next piece of armor, because you'll still get the bonus. If you're in the first stage, then no matter what, you should switch over, because it's 50-50. In some cases you will get the bonus, in some cases you won't. actually can't tell if somebody's watching me stream. Like I said last stream, the reason I stream RuneScape is just to make sure I don't lose the momentum I have right now and the motivation I have from the amount of ores I actually have. See this, I have more ores than I had last time, so the amount of ores I have right now in my bank is the highest I've ever had in my RuneScape life, which is kind of sad. I mean, I've had like 18k U logs before. I've had 14 mil, went up to 28 mil, I think. 21, 28. No, the most I had was 50 mil because of a donation from a Company of Heroes 2 friend. Then I ended up using it on bonds. He wanted to get it back so we can give it to one of his other friends, but I already used it on bonds, so yeah. Tough noodles. But yeah, so I mean, life's never been really easy for me. Had to work to where I've gotten here. I've gotten here because I worked hard, is what I'm trying to say. And I'll continue to work hard to make sure that I can get more higher goals and set new standards. Nothing new on my course website. When that guy said some assembly required, I thought he was talking about... Oh, he wasn't. Oh, he was just saying that. Okay. I thought he was talking about one of the Lumbridge tasks where you have to mine mithril and make it into a plate body, but that's not some assembly required. Doesn't really matter. In fact, I thought it was a quest. Seems like it's not a quest. Then I have a bunch of other skills I should probably be getting up to. I mean, you can never go wrong with cooking. With every urn, no matter what, you'll get 20% experience of what you put into the urn. No matter what urn you use. No urn will give more or less than 20%. Cooking urns give the most, from what I've seen in free-to-play. In pay-to-play, I don't know if it's the same. But cooking urns do give the most, for some reason. You can fill up a cooking urn with about 40 lobsters if you use a bonfire. If you don't, then yeah. If you don't, you don't. I don't have as many RuneScape friends as I once had. I don't even talk to these guys. These two guys, Roundos and Iron Crate, were from when I started playing as an Iron Man. And they were in the first clan that I was in. Eventually we moved off and these guys got 99s, but I'm still stuck at where I am right now. Eventually I might get 99 attack, I might get 99 strength, I might get 99 defense. The chances of me getting 99 range and mage is unlikely. I might get a higher rune crafting level. I don't know yet. For sure I probably won't train summoning. I might end up getting summoning if I become a member for a year on this account, which is unlikely to happen, but it could. Anything can happen. Anything. You just have to be smart and know how to take an opportunity when you see it. I mean, I had 11 mil in old school RuneScape and I just turned it into bonds. I couldn't deal with just having it. Gave 3 bonds. Yes, 3 bonds to this account, and then I have bonds left because I had 10 on old school RuneScape, but then gave 3 to this account. Used it, lost it. Got some strength levels though. Trying to do Slayer didn't work out well. In fact, I still have dragons to kill. However, next time I kill them, I'll be more prepared. I might end up doing more quests. Because when you're a pure, you're limited in quests. You can't get a quest escape because there are quests that will give you melee defense. There are quests that will give you extra HP. There are quests that will give you melee attack. There are quests that will give you summoning. And all of these things. And most people try to avoid getting melee defense as a pure. Now that I have melee defense on this account, it frees me from those restrictions. And I mean, in reality, I'm not going to be PKing in RuneScape 3 anymore. It's just not going to happen unless it's forced upon me. It was fun doing it in the beta. Hell, it was even fun when the other beta came out where Legacy came back, where you got supers. But it ends. It ends somehow. Like I mentioned earlier, I think I'm gonna get honors in my classes. I've done pretty well this year for my first year, and I plan on doing it. So my total GPA should be a solid 20. Because I had 5 courses. I got A plus in 2 of them. I think I'm gonna get an A in another one, and then 2 B pluses. So I should have about a solid 4. I could be wrong. Might end up being a 3.5. Oh, whoops. Yeah, they upgraded honors so much. Like, I have a solid A. I might end up getting high honors. I'm guaranteed honors, so that's fine. I was a little bit clumsy, I'll admit, with my science and technology exam. And if I don't get honors in that class, I don't get honors in that class. But I did good enough. I did good enough to pass, and that's what matters. In fact, I did so good that I'll be able to go straight into the course that I wanted to go into. And I don't even have to ask my GAP, whoever he is. I mean, I was so excited when I had enough 14k iron ores, because when I got 14k iron ores, I knew that I was going to be able to smith it. I ended up smithing it in 5 days, because I ended on Wednesday. Pretty sure it was a Wednesday. It took me 4 days to mine it, but 5 days to smith it all. Because you get more experience, but it's slower. Much slower than actually mining it. So this is just half, not even half, a quarter of the battle, really. 3/4 is actually having to switch over. However, it's easier to AFK it than it is to whatever. It's easier to AFK smithing than it is to mine it, because mining is click intensive but smithing isn't. However, it can be very long and you might have to listen to music or something. What I do is I go on this site called rainymood.com. If anybody wants a link of it, I'm willing to whisper it to them or put it in the comments. Rainy Mood just makes the background sound like it's raining. I like to study in the rain, so I found it very helpful. Oh shoot, I wonder if they tried to call me. I just realized something and I have to look at my phone. 1 second, guys. Okay, I'm gonna have to mute. Be right back. Anyway, where was I? I had to take a break from talking because my sister came in, but hopefully in a few minutes I'll be able to talk some more. Until then, guys, just hang in a little bit longer because I know you want to hear my glorious voice. Glorious. Anyway, this Iron Man mining iron nonsense, it's really tedious. In reality, if I had the money to, I'd probably just buy the iron. I would. In fact, I might actually do that with my other account. If I get a year of membership and I get enough money. Like, of course, if I get enough money to get more bonds. I'd rather just buy it, honestly, because mining it is really tedious. Really, really tedious. Of course, then I'd also be buying rune instead of mining it. However, as an Iron Man, you don't have a choice. It's either you mine it or you don't. And you need, in order to train your smithing, you have to train your mining. There's really no way around it. And the only way around it is if you could buy ores. And nobody really sells their ores into the shops, if there were any. And there is the general shop, but nobody really sells their ores there because they'd rather smelt them and then make money off the bars or whatever they make from them. Anyway, I have to use the washroom, so I'll be right back. Anyway. You know what? Because it's past 2 hours, I think I should end my stream here. Well, I'll end it on this last inventory, but you know what? Anyway, anyways, thanks anybody that's watching this as a past broadcast, as a or as a right now, because I don't see. Oh wait, there was somebody. Darn, I must have missed him. Anyway, shout out to Agent P93 because he actually watched. There always seems to be that one person that watches, but I never get to see anyway. Anyway, thanks so much for watching Agent P93, and thanks anybody that decided to watch. And I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and there'll definitely be more RuneScape streams in the future. However, like I said in the past 2 streams, this is just to, well, no, the past stream, this is just to make sure that I don't fall behind again. So, yeah guys, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'll see you later. Hopefully, probably not tomorrow, but we'll try for Sunday. Bye guys.